You must be visiting from Liyue to participate in the Iridori Festival. Huh? Is it Paimon, or have we met somewhere before?
Yes, in fact we have. I'm Shu from Feiyun Commerce Guild. The inventor of Theater Mechanicus previously came to the Feiyun Commerce... We heard that they'd be demonstrating the game and letting people try Theater Mechanicus...
Oh! Speaking of which, where's the young master?
Master, he's,
Whoa! Xingqiu's just sitting there!
It's the Traveler and Paimon. I presume you're guests in...
Oh, we aren't actually guests. We're actually guides for the Iridori Festival.
Please, no need to worry. I was a little too caught up in a novel on the voyage here. Yes, now that we've arrived, the Kanjo Commission will... Huh? That's odd. There was a piece of paper underneath my bag. Strange. I don't recall seeing it there.
Ooh, let Paimon have a look! Oh, there's no doubt about it. It's from the same series as the story we found before!
The story you found before?
Oh, yeah! In the warehouse down by the poem hunt competition! Yeah, that's it! A friend of ours is on Rito to paint portraits of the 5 Kasen. You know, as part of the Iridori. If you can find one of the stories and give it to this friend of ours...
Wait a moment. So you mean that...
It's hard coming up with stuff on the spot like that.
There's a chance of meeting Calx in person?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Really? That's wonderful! I knew that Calx would attend the Irodori Festival, but just a few days later, word then came that Calx would be busy. It is a most rare opportunity for both Calx and I to be in Inazuma.
Don't worry, Xingqiu. Even though Calx has work to do, he still has time to see friends. Also, we heard that Calx did illustrations for your,
So you've already heard. To be honest, my works have drawn little interest in Liyue. Calx is not only a skilled artist, but he also carries out his craft with great alacrity. But when I looked at the art, the brushwork did not even look the slightest bit rough. Oh my, I was beginning to get carried away there. Let us depart, quickly now.
Luckily, the idea of meeting Albedo managed to draw Xingqiu's attention and keep the situation under wraps. Let's just hope we don't let anything slip while meeting Albedo.
Traveler, Paimon, how are you?
You must be Calx. It's a great pleasure to finally meet you. Forgive me. It's rude of me to introduce myself by my
And you may call me Albedo, then.
No, that would be
Why not? Seeing as we're both friends of the Traveler. Besides, we've already corresponded with each other many times.
It's not just you, Albedo. We haven't seen Xingqiu act this awkward before either.
You guys, it's certainly not good taste for you two to be teasing me like that. Oh, by the way, we happened to find a story from the poem hunt competition at the
Poem hunt?
You know, that thing where we have to find pieces of paper with
Huh? Oh, yes, that's right. Oh, I understand the story now. Thank you. It's very...
Splendid! Though, I'm still piecing together the story myself.
If all of you are free, why don't we discuss this over a meal?
Well, about that...
Do you have other plans, Xingqiu?
No, not at all. Speaking of dining, Shimura's unagi chasuke is quite delicious.
Shimura's... unfortunately, today is a bit
That's perfectly fine with me. but I must first unpack my luggage. Let's meet later at Uyu.
Something didn't quite add up just now.
Huh? No way! Paimon thinks we acted well together.
No, Paimon, I'm not referring to us. Traveler, what are your thoughts?
Huh? Xingqiu's suspicious? Hey, what are you two talking?
Paimon, you read the poem, right? Although it may seem confusing to Xingqiu on its own, what if we read it together with a previous poem we found?
Read them together? Suiko lost Aoi no Okina's poem in a drunken stupor. Huh? Wait a minute. Could today's story be hinting that the one who stole the latest copies of A Legend of Sword is Xingqiu himself? No way! That can't be right! Xingqiu only arrived in Inazuma this morning!
And that is precisely the point of suspicion. If Xingqiu had only just arrived in Inazuma, how could he recommend Shimura's Chazuke? Moreover, he didn't raise any questions when I suggested another place because of...
Are you saying that Xingqiu has already been in Inazuma?
Yes, that is indeed my conclusion.
But how could Xingqiu be the book thief? His mission is to fight for justice, isn't it?
Calm down, Paimon. Even though this is the first time I've met Xingqiu in person, I think there must be some deeper motive at play here.
Oh? Could Xingqiu be in danger?
It's difficult to say at this point. But given that Uyu Restaurant is indoors, I'll be relying on your assistance to get to the bottom of this matter. Good. Then let's head to Uyu Restaurant. I don't see anyone suspicious around. It seems clear for the moment.
Oh, this whole thing's starting to make Paimon a little nervous.
First, we must ascertain whether Xingqiu was already in Inazuma or not, since we're still waiting for him. Why don't you go and chat with other guests?
The last phase of the Irodori Festival is when they release the all-new publications.
That's right! A signed first edition is going to become quite the collectible.
I've seen Gen Yu's signature before. His handwriting is super neat.
He'll be there in person on the day of the release, so we'll get a good look at him then.
Wait a minute. Did you just hear that? Not only will Xingqiu be signing novels at the release... about when Xingqiu gets here?
I will try to break the ice by talking about our work on novels and illustrations. If he really is hiding something, then he might feel even more nervous than we do.
Oh, come to think of it, Xingqiu mentioned that he'd like to thank you for finishing the illustration.
Is that so?
Hello there, what?
Hi! Do you have any special recommendations?
Why, of course. I'd personally recommend our freshly caught seafood.
So the weather at sea has been bad?
It sure has. A few guests from Liyue were just telling me that their boat was heaving and rolling all the...
Oh, this might be some useful information.
was delicious. Inazuman cuisine largely consists of fresh seafood.
That's good. We were worried you might not have an appetite because you... Now's our chance. Let's talk to Shincho and see if he says anything useful. Maybe we could start by asking him about the journey.
Well, I've never embarked on such a long journey before. Though I was quite excited when we set off, the long days at sea quickly became most...
Speaking of the journey, did anything noteworthy happen along the way?
Well, to be honest, I spent most of the trip with my nose in a novel.
Well, that didn't tell us much. By the way, Shincho, what book were you reading on the way here?
Oh, I was reading a novel called Pretty Please Kitsune Guji. It was sent to me by my editor.
Didn't you feel dizzy while reading on the ship?
It was nothing I couldn't handle. Don't forget, I'm proficient in the arts of the Guhua clan.
Well, there doesn't seem to be anything suspicious about what he said so far.
To be honest, there wasn't much to see. Just water all around, morning to night. The sheer monotony of the trip. So, when the peak of Mount Yogo finally appeared in the distance as we approached the islands of Inazuma, however, the ship sailed along at a crawling pace.
Paimon didn't catch anything suspicious so far. Oh, right! If it took an entire day to reach the docks...
We learned a couple of things from his account, but we still require more evidence. Let's discuss creating novels with Shincho.
While it is entertaining to read novels, writing one is an endeavor of its... You must give great thought to every detail. And even when you have come up with interesting content, there's...
I couldn't agree more. Whether it's writing a book, creating art, or studying...
Shincho and Albedo are getting into some deep topics now.
Speaking of illustrations, Albedo, I've long wished to express my sincerest gratitude for providing the illustration. My novel didn't sell well in Liyue, so I must admit that I had some reservations, yet you've consistently managed to select the most important scene of the chapter for your...
Thank you. However, light novel illustrations are typically centered around the character.
Well, that scene was intended to depict the change in the world.
Doesn't sound like anything suspicious as...
No, there was a crack in his alibi. My illustrations were sent for printing the moment they arrived in Inazuma. Shincho, we have something very important to ask.
Oh? Why the solemn looks all of a sudden? Huh? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Mr. Okazaki told us earlier that actually the weather at sea was very bad these last few days.
On top of that, the latest installment of A Legend of Sword will only be revealed at the Irodori Festival.
Well...
The jig's up, Shincho. You were already in Inazuma before today, weren't you? Are you in some kind of danger but can't tell us the truth? Don't worry. The Traveler and Albedo are no pushovers. We can...
No, please. You misunderstand me. I suppose my lack of sleep is inevitably taking its toll on my mind. I did in fact come to Inazuma early to handle some things. Let me consider how to explain this.
Oh! Well, if this isn't a coincidence.
Huh? Tone-deaf bard, what are you doing here?
I heard that the owner of this establishment has some fine-aged wines. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to taste them.
Paimon knew you couldn't possibly be up to anything.
Says who? In fact, I come as the bearer. I just bumped into Kujo Sara a moment ago. She said that the Tenryou Commission has apprehended the
Huh? The criminal who stole...
Did I say something I shouldn't have?
Oh no. The person they apprehended. Was it by chance an editor named
Apologies, Kujo Sara didn't mention a name. But I saw her taking someone toward Hanamizaka.
Everyone, it's too late to explain. We must make haste and rescue Onodera.
Welcome to Uyu Restaurant. Please.
Wait, Onodera is innocent!
Oh, so you must be the author of A Legend of Sword.
Anyway, you mustn't take him away. I can explain everything.
No need to worry, Genyu. I've just explained everything to Madame Kujo, and Kuroda has testified for me.
Yes. In fact, we were just getting ready to leave.
Oh, phew. What a relief. Wait a minute. Does everyone else here already know?
Well, to be precise, we had dispatched 2 additional squad.
Shinjo looks pretty flustered. What exactly is going on here?
Though it's most embarrassing, it appears quite a few people are aware of this. In the end, I'm the one responsible for this whole predicament.
No, Genyu. It's only appropriate that I take responsibility for this. For the Iridori Festival, I recommended the idea of selling newly released Not only was this the first major project I was in charge of since joining, however, I did not discuss our plans with the authors in advance.
Yes, to be frank, calligraphy is not my strong point.
Even though such an event will be difficult for Genyu, so these past few days, Genyu has been actively practicing. So I came up with the idea of moving the new books from the warehouse to... I thought everything would work out without a hitch. To make things worse, I was on vacation and staying with Genyu in my house. All of this happened because I wanted the...
Onodera, I agreed to your proposal because I didn't want the readers to know. Also, I knew that Onodera had been misled by one of... At a previous event, the Yai Publishing House had requested... I practiced tirelessly for an entire day, but looking back on it now, I had dug myself into a hole by...
Hey, come on, you two. Loosen up a little. The theft was nothing more than a simple misunderstanding.
Yeah, that's right. All that matters is that Shinjo and his books are okay.
Onodera, I think you should explain the truth regarding the stolen books.
Yes, I understand. I'll apologize to everyone.
We should probably be heading back to Rito as well.
Onodera, what are you doing here?
I'm very sorry for all the trouble that I've caused.
Yes, Onodera, but why didn't you tell everyone earlier? If you had told us, we could have thought of some ways to help you.
That's right. We're a team, and we should be helping each other in tough situations.
Let's leave the past behind us now. Our first priority is to help Genyu with his signatures.
My progress is not what I had hoped for. Even after working through the night these past few days, I've only...
Oh, no wonder Shinjo looked so sleepy today.
I understand. Murata, go back to Yai Publishing House and get Aratani to book a room on the 2nd floor of the Uyu restaurant. We'll be using it for Genyu's emergency calligraphy lessons.
Yes, Mr. Hirayama. It just so happens that my brother is a calligrapher.
Yes, good idea. Ah, you've just reminded me. 2 calligraphers from Liyue arrived today.
It seems I'm really in for it now.
No need to worry, Genyu. I'm sure you can do it. Didn't you finish the last chapter of your novel?
Yes, but writing novels and learning calligraphy are...
Even though Shinjo still has to deal with his handwriting issue.
I always used to prefer working alone in my workshop.
We also owe a special ode of gratitude to the mysterious...
Huh? You mean whoever left behind those stories about...
Pardon me, but what are you talking about?
Oh, right. We haven't had a chance to explain.
I see. It appears that Onodera and I were spotted when we were moving the Albedo. May I ask you one thing? Are you... Not only do I owe the successful resolution of today's incident to the...
No problem. Considering the similarities between the...
That figure was none other than Aoi no Okina himself. This turn of events had begun with an unnamed individual, under whose coercion, Aoi no Okina was forced to take drastic measures to retrieve a page of poetry. He knew nothing of this individual's true intentions. All he knew was that the poem had to do with an old acquaintance, Akahito.
All the world holds dear.
Albedo really is something. He finished the portrait of Aoi no Okina in no time at all. Wonder how Shincho's calligraphy training is going at Uyu Restaurant. Oh, hello? Mr. Storywriter? Are you here? Could you please help Shincho with something? He's a friend of ours and the release of his new book is super important. Oh, what's that sound? It was just a cat. Looks like we can't make the move. It's getting late now. But let's go back and get some rest. We still have to go to the docks and wait for another ship tomorrow morning.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. Now arrived at the magnificent Iridori Festival event venue.